Hey everybody, it's Diandra Marie and welcome to another episode of Imposter Syndrome, an interview series I created where I sit down with a creative, artist, or entrepreneur to talk about their journey and how they combat imposter syndrome. And I am so excited and so curious to be sitting down with my next guest, Denise Campbell, who is a senior vice president at a major insurance brokerage. She's a DEI champion. She's a music savant. And according to her LinkedIn, which clearly doesn't have a character limit, she's a stubborn optimist who's passionate about client advocacy and building communities through authentic connections. Instagram would never. How are you today?
I'm great. I'm feeling stubbornly optimistic.
But how I like to start the show is let the people know a little bit about yourself and who you are.
So she kind of gave a little bit of my professional background, but I am Jamaican from culture. So I'm a first generation American, but very steeped in my Jamaican roots. I grew up in Jersey. I was born in New York, but I'm a Jersey girl.
Period. What caused you to want to take on music more seriously? You know, even before college. Yeah. How did you know? Yeah. How did you feel connected?
My aunt actually worked in music. Mm-hmm. And I always felt like I can't sing, but I feel like deep down in my spirit, I'm supposed to be a part of this somehow, some way.
Yeah.
As a child, you get the recorder when you're like in second grade. You play the recorder.
Girl, and I used to be a beast.
Hot cross buns up. Let me say something. I got really good at the clarinet. When I got to high school, I was second chair my freshman year, which is like, if you understand how that works, first year is the best player, and so on and so forth.
I watched Drumline.
Right. Right. Drumline, right. Thank you, Nick Cannon, for that part of it.
That part.
That specific
the early
part.
OOs.
But I, at the same time, though, battling with who I want to be and what I want to do and how I want to do things, all of my friends were color guards because growing up in Teaneck, New Jersey, it was like the first Black sorority kind of situation. I want to do it with my friends, but I couldn't do both. And so sophomore year, I told my band leader, like, hey, can I just stay? I'll practice. I'll do all the things, but I'll just be on the field during the games. And he was like, no, you got to be all in or all out. So I was all out.
Yeah, so I want to get, now that we're in your college years, you majored in computer engineering. Started majoring. Yeah. Then you switched to music, right?
With things in between that.
Well, right. Yeah. And you'll fill that in. Then you start a career in the music industry.
Yeah.
And now you're the SVP in insurance.
It's not a straight line?
No.
That's not a straight line?
I mean,
no?
It's giving a little bit of different paths.
It's giving a little,
yeah. So talk to me about that. Like what, not only like are those different parts of your life, but what did that experience teach you of like just maneuvering like
all that pivot?
Yeah.
Pivot.
At such a young age.
So I got sick while I was at school and I had to be constantly back and forth home trying to figure out what was going on in the hospital, in the doctor's office, getting tested, all this stuff. And I couldn't focus on school and focus on these other things that were happening at the same time. I came back home and I really was at a low point. Now my mother's, the way that mother's career was set up, she's actually able to pay for whatever my scholarship wasn't covering through her job. But in order for her to continue doing that, I could not withdraw from any classes. And I had to leave school in the middle of a semester. And when I did that, everything failed, which means that when I came back to New Jersey, I could get into 0 colleges anywhere. It didn't matter what I wrote. It didn't matter how I left high school. All the colleges that had accepted me wouldn't accept me at all. I didn't want my brain to atrophy. So I started taking classes at Bergen Community College. And it was just like going through the motions there. And I found out they had this really cool music program there. Mm-hmm. And I walked in, and after working in the music industry, honestly, one of the best studio setups I've seen was at Bergen Community College. And they've since expanded it to be even more. But I started taking some technology, like computer technology music classes. And it was really cool. And my college professor at the time was like, what are your grades like here? And I'm like, well, they're straight A's. But he's like, well, what are you going to do after this? I was like, I don't know. I still have PTSD from not getting into anything, right? And I'm still dealing with my health. And he's like, I think you should go to NYU. And I was like, okay. I couldn't get into Rutgers fast enough. Nothing against Rutgers, but I got an academic scholarship to go
Wow.
to even more than what Maryland gave me
Mm-hmm.
to go to NYU. So I ended up there in a music program and I interned at a company that shall remain nameless. Thought it was going to be my dream job, turned into very much the devil wears Prada kind of situation. And I decided to leave it and for a second leave that part of the industry.
Mm-hmm.
But a woman that I still respect and love to this day, she had her own company. She was in her early 30s and she was like doing this music management company. She managed songwriters and producers. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that's less ego than the artist and than the A&R, artist and repertoire side of it.
Yeah.
2 years into working with her, I got a big health scare again related to all my issues. And I was basically diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer.
Wow.
Spoiler alert, I didn't have cancer.
Okay.
But it took 3 months of intense kind of going back and forth with Royal Sloan Kettering
for sure.
and testing with them to say you don't have cancer, but we don't know what it is. So basically for the rest of your life, you're going to need to be monitored in XYZ. And I was like, I need to make sure I got some health insurance. And I applied to the UN, a law firm, and AIG. I didn't even know what AIG did. I got all 3 job offers as an admin because I was like, I don't know nothing about this. Right? Well, I'm going to go in as an admin. Respect your admins. They know everything. So it now moved from me doing it from my team in New York to me helping globally to create a global kind of single kind of experience with our presentations internally and externally.
Wow. Can you speak to the pressure sometimes? Especially like being two people who are like, yeah, girl, da-da-da. Like we can kind of light up any room, but people don't see the other side. Yeah. People don't see the tears and the blood and the sweat that goes into it. People see the smiles and stuff.
I think the question is, why don't people see it, right? So this is the other part. We have to also be accountable for our own stuff. And my therapist helped me with this.
Oh, come on, therapist.
I told her, I don't want to be a strong Black woman anymore. Mm-hmm. And I said, what I mean by that is I don't want to only be a strong Black woman anymore. I want to, it's more the sides to me. I wanted that soft side. And she said to me, after a lot of conversation, the harmony between the soft and the strong that you want to exist will happen once the soft stops feeling icky to you. Mm. And I was like, first of all, you don't have to go that hard.
Right. You know, like I know I'm paying you, but you don't got to come for me.
So the bottom line is, how many times do I ask for help? How many times do I let people see me cry? Yeah. How many times am I vulnerable with other people, right? Yeah. How many times do I, when someone says, let me do whatever, do I say, thank you? And not say, no, I got it. Mm-hmm. No, it's okay. Mm-hmm. We have to stop doing it to ourselves where we're branding ourselves and making it so that we can only be successful, only be accepted by being strong, by being light, by being bubbly. Those things are innate to us. Once we're able to show people both sides and be vulnerable, especially around those people you can trust and you can build that, right?
That part.
You give a little somebody a little something, if they do something wrong with it.
No, that's kind of what I was getting at. Like also making sure there's discernment.
Yes,
on
absolutely.
Right. Like
but you're gonna have to, in order to find that discernment, you're gonna have to test those waters.
Hey, enjoying this convo? Join my Patreon tribe for the full uncut episode, plus early releases and exclusives you won't get anywhere else. Click the link in the description, head on over to Patreon, and become a part of the fam. All right, so now we're going to get to the part of the show where we're going to play a little game, because I love games. And this is Survey Says. Okay. So shout out to Taffy. You posted something about Family Feud on your LinkedIn.
Oh, yeah.
This is inspired by that.
Okay.
And so I'm going to ask you questions based on corporate life, and you have to give the top answer.
Oh, God.
You know, no 4 answers on the board. It's one top answer on the board.
Okay.
Okay, you got 5 seconds. Top excuse why someone is late to work.
Traffic.
Oh. Okay. She was like, I told that one myself as she walked in with her Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Right. Okay. Top perk of remote work.
Waking up late, sleeping, working in your pajamas.
Judges. Yes, we'll take it. Flexibility, work-life balance. That falls in. Okay. Top reason why someone's camera is off during a Zoom meeting.
Their hair is not done on their faces.
That is a very Black answer. That is the blackest answer.
They're not set up to be seen. Their camera, their background is
actually, no, on the internet or doing something non-work related. They don't want you to see them.
Oh, that's
distracted.
the real talk quiet.
What percentage of working Americans have a side hustle?
60 or up.
Actually, 45%.
Really?
45%. And last one. Top advice given to young professionals entering the corporate workforce.
Young professionals entering?
Sure.
It may be pick up the phone and actually call and speak to somebody.
That was a trick one. Whatever you said was the top answer. Woo! That's how we do here on Imposter Syndrome.
Don't lying to me.
So there you go. Pick up the phone, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all Gen Z, stop texting and trying to stay behind the emails. Call somebody.
In person,
Okay.
even better. Build those relationships.
Thank you so much for sharing that and just continuing to be vulnerable. Like, that's why I really enjoyed sitting down with you because, you know, seeing you in work and talking sometimes isn't the same as like a conversation like this. So I really appreciate it. Now, you know, notice the professional one. So how can, if you want people to stay linked up with you, should they just find you on LinkedIn with that long, optimist, stubborn, with the unlimited characters?
Yes. Denise Campbell, you can get to me on LinkedIn. Look me up. It'll say maybe Denise Campbell, SVP, stubborn optimist will be there.
You'll see that.
Big gray hair. Please connect with me and let me know if you have any questions or follow-ups or you disagree. Love that too. Bring that in. I
in
love
a
to have
professional way.
Yeah. Let's have a conversation.
Awesome.
Thank you for having me. This is really special.
Of course, definitely. I'm glad we got to share this. Thank you so much for sitting down with me. And thank you for sitting down with us. Until next time, combat your imposter syndrome, be your authentic self, and take up the fullness of that. Continue to champion DEI. I don't care what industry you work in, and combat your imposter syndrome. Hey y'all, I am so grateful that season 2 of Imposter Syndrome is done. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting this series, supporting this talk show. It's something I just started to be a renaissance to my creativity, and it's continued to grow. I've had so many amazing, uplifting conversations. I've been able to work with some really dope, amazing people. This is definitely an upgrade. This is definitely a step in another direction, another trajectory. Thank you for being a part of it. If you are a subscriber on Patreon, thank you so much for supporting Black creativity, creativity of BIPOC artists, and continuing to uplift and share our conversations. This could not have been done without God, my friends, my team, you. So thank you.